I work because I really do love it. In my professional career, I've had the opportunity that my vocation and my occupation really are one and the same, but I realize that it has come from a lifetime of just enjoying every job I've had.
Work impacts me by bringing me joy. Every day I interact with people who I get to watch them grow, and that gives me great joy.
I love solving problems for organizations, for people, for society. And so for me, I truly am privileged that my vocation and my occupation, what I'm called to do, what pays the bills, is one and the same. What motivates me really is helping people. All my education is in the for-profit, but I had the opportunity to really apply that in helping communities. I had an opportunity to go into a low-income community to help them start and grow businesses, and that has just kept me going. But in the end, if you can help a mom, a dad, be able to take their side hustle and turn it into something that can support their family, that allows them to provide stable housing, provide dignity for themselves and for others, that stabilizes communities, that's phenomenal. And when you can help an employer to be able to realize that they can provide not just a job, but something that supports families and communities and creates opportunities, and not just impacts the person in front of them, but a community behind them, I love it.
I think work impacts me in a number of different ways. One is it gives me an external outlet for what gifts I bring to the world. I think also it impacts me by helping me grow, by helping me see different perspectives, by helping me recognize that there are all kinds of ways of looking at the world, and mine is just one. I think I found my path to my work in maybe a little bit of an unusual way. I experienced a calling to go into ministry when I was in 7th grade. My ministry was really out in the community, and so I've done all kinds of different things to learn about that, from working on the Appalachian Trail and being a community organizer in the car theft capital of the world in Tennessee, to also working in inner city ministry in Akron, Ohio. So I've just dabbled in different ways of doing ministry, and found eventually that my work probably was with women who are homeless, and that's pretty much what I've committed my life to, is that work.
I had my first budget when I was 4 years old, and my family wanted to teach me the importance of saving, having spending, but also contributing to the household budget. And so I learned how to make money. They taught me how to make money. They never gave me an allowance. And one of the first ways they taught me how to do that was when I was 6. I had my first compound interest loan, and they lent me $45 at 2% interest to buy a goat. And I milked that goat and would sell that milk to my grandma and to my family. And I learned a lot of things, to wake up early, that the goat would be in pain if I wasn't milking her, and I wouldn't make money, and I wouldn't pay back my loan if I wasn't doing that. But I learned how to have fun in that process, and that I got to see the impact of my work, because I got to enjoy some of the product of that, literally in that milk, and see how it impacted other people. So I picked this career path, and I do see it as a choice, because while I stumbled into it, because this was supposed to be 2 years of service, and then I was moving on with my life. But we don't just end up in things, we choose. We're not victims in so many of the times. We make choices, and I had to realize that I made a choice to stay with this. I chose that rather than make more money and move on and be focused on myself, that I could find joy and satisfaction in also helping others realize their potential. We talk about empowering people, and it's a great concept. But I chose this path because people have more power than they realize. And often we can take it away from them, but we can't really give them more. And so how do we help them realize their potential, embrace the power that they have, and be very careful to not take it away?
Once I recognized that it was someplace that I felt like I could really give back to the world, I jumped in with both feet. I guess I really do believe that we each have certain gifts, and that we only go around once, and our task is to try to pour ourselves out into the world. So I think it just caught on fire in me, and I couldn't I couldn't do anything else. And I never really experimented with anything else. I knew early on that I wanted to try to do ministry in the world, but especially on the ground with people who are homeless. So I don't even think I saw any other option. It's where I always wanted to be.
One of the fastest, easiest ways to change how we talk about work is to have a diverse workforce, people with different experiences, values, life priorities, and let them be part of changing how we value things. And then from there, we can talk about what's important to people. That, in the future, maybe someday when you're at a networking event, the first question isn't, what do you do? Where do you work? But what do you care about? Where do you invest your time? And those are questions that if you're retired, if you're a stay-at-home dad, if you are a volunteer, if you're currently between jobs, no matter how much education you have, anything else that you feel valuable and part of the conversation,